This bustling little town of over 11,000 is located just north of the Massachusetts border in southern Vermont. Join us as Artifications explores Brattleboro. You can smell the burning wood all year round. This is the kind of small town that's popping off. To get this place, you really have to explore it in person. One of the first things you notice here are the abundance of art facilities. It was this dynamic relationship between the arts and its downtown that really intrigued me. How strong is the pulse of the Brattleboro art scene? How does the economy work? And what is it that keeps the artists from leaving here? Its stark natural beauty has an undeniable draw to the area. Its location along the Connecticut River, or Kinnatucket as the Native Americans called it, was home to the various Abenaki tribes for thousands of years, until 1724 with the completion of Fort Dummer just south of the downtown Brattleboro area. Later, the town would take the name of Brattleboro, named after William Brattle, a principal proprietor to the area. To appreciate Brattleboro is to appreciate how photogenic it is, to acknowledge and feel the harmony that exists between nature, the artists who live there, and all the institutions tasked with capturing all this creative energy. One such bastion of creativity is visible from all directions when crossing into the heart of Brattleboro town. This is the Brattleboro Museum and Art Center. This building was built in 1915 and acted as the community hub for about 50 years. This station was Brattleboro's connection to the wider world, and so played a very important role in the town's development. Trains stopped running in the 1960s, and the building's future was in question. At one point in time, it was even completely boarded up. The current director, Danny Lichtenfeld, has been with the BMAC since 2007, and his passion for Brattleboro still shines through.
Then in the late 60s, two groups of committed citizens decided that they wanted to save it from the wrecking ball, and one group wanted to use the space as a history museum, and the other group wanted to set up art classes and art exhibitions and things. They came together and decided to work together, and hence Brattleboro Museum and Art Center. In the early days, that actually meant two different things. It was kind of two operations in one. Over the years, since then, we've become focused exclusively on art and contemporary art in particular.
I really liked the two exhibitions during our visit. The Nuclear Family exhibition by artist Amy Bennett was a lot of fun. Bennett's paintings are intricate, dispassionate, and suck the viewer right into their little world. Just in the next room, the special exhibition Glass-tastic was blowing everyone's mind. 20 drawings were selected, drawn by 20 children between kindergarten and 6th grade. These were expertly and loyally recreated by fantastic glasswork artisans. The best part is each one has a name and a backstory.
So Brattleboro, like many formerly industrial towns in New England, has had to reinvent itself numerous times. Brattleboro is regularly recognized as one of the best small towns for arts activity in the country. And so this museum and some other fabulous arts organizations in the town have really become the new hub of the community and the kinds of places that bring people together and people from all walks of life.
Once you pass over the Whetstone Brook, you're confronted with a small yet busy, buzzy downtown that supports the arts in a number of different, unique ways. One such fixture of the downtown Brattleboro art scene has been serving people between the ages of 2 and 92. Is the River Gallery School. For over 40 years, this school has played a role in disseminating the arts to the larger Windham County region. We stop on Main to have a word with director Donna Hawes in the continuing legacy of the River Gallery School.
Well, it's a fascinating thing to be a witness to. The young children, 6, 7, 8 years old, 15 years ago, turn out to come back as adults and practice their art with us. So we've got teachers that have cycled through as kids. Brattleboro, Windham County, which is several surrounding towns. I mean, there's lots going on here in Windham County, but Brattleboro is the hub. And River Gallery School has been the general center of the arts community for all of these years. We have seen in the last, well, I have witnessed in the last 15 years that there are several little schools popping up all over the place. So there's a lot of interest in art and also teaching it. So people are establishing themselves as a drawing studio or a printmaking studio and teaching classes as well as making their own art. So it's definitely expanded beyond River Gallery School.
Nestled away in the downstairs storefront gallery of the school, artists are even now creating works as a group on a Friday night. I was invited to meet with a local arting group. It was a pleasure to hang out with artists KariLyn McLellan and Watrous as they diligently work away on their art projects.
I was deeply involved in the arts growing up here, going to school here. I did performing arts growing up. I have lived other places, like in my 20s. I did that whole exploring out west and living all points west. And everywhere I was, I felt that I was comparing it to here, and here being the favorable place. And anytime a place had aspects of my home, that made it better. And if I could have all the aspects of home in one place, that place being Brattleboro, then I think I knew where I needed to be. And I really feel like I experimented a lot with a lot of places and chose Brattleboro ultimately. The support for art here it's kind of incredible. Yeah, I think there's a bigger proportion of money going into the arts than other small communities that I've been a part of. And not even just monetary support. It feels like a place where you can say, hey, this is what I do. I identify as an artist. This is what I do. And you don't get that, maybe you should do something practical.
My name is Lauren Watrous. We're in Brattleboro, Vermont. This Friday night group emerged because I wanted to use this studio space for my own studio space, and I work at the school. I teach upstairs, and I just started inviting people over to paint with me in the evening on Friday night because, so there's a lot of music and stuff around here too, but there's just often a lot of Friday nights when I want to be painting, but I don't want to not be hanging out with people, so this was my solution to that. I had a studio. It was very nice. There's some good studio space, and there's some landlords that are amazing at keeping the rent low, specifically for artist studios. And I had one of those, and I just had to let it go recently. So I've been, but I paint outside too, so it's worked out.
Brattleboro's downtown boasts mostly independent and small businesses. While that means spaces are accessible and marginally affordable, it also means economic downturns can hit the downtown kinda hard. Over and over again, this independent street can be seen throughout Vermont's history. It existed first as an independent republic just after the Revolutionary War ended, and it was the first state to join the Union after the original 13 colonies. It also created the first constitution in the nation to completely outlaw slavery. Yet Vermont's eastern border with New Hampshire wasn't even completely decided until a Supreme Court decision in 1934. In other words, Vermont is as much an idea as it is a place. Straight up Main Street you encounter Vermont Artisan Designs. Housed in a converted department store, the walls celebrate mostly Vermont artists, an indication that this community is vast and talented.
Brattleboro is just, it allows you to be yourself. It's like a good piece of art. If you look at something and you say, I don't know what it is about it, but I love it, and it just feels right. That's sort of the way Brattleboro is. We've been around a long time. The gallery's been around close to 50 years now. It was across the street where Giddings is now when we bought it. And we came across the street to what used to be a department store. We represent anywhere from 300 to 350 different artists and craftspeople at any given time. And that flows. We have an in-house jury that decides what comes in, but we work with people and try to find a place for them, whether it's here or someplace else. Geographically, we're about 70% Vermont made and up to 90% Vermont or other parts of New England. We do about 10% from other parts of the country as well. And in the town in general, it's really nice because there's a variety of galleries around town, from the museum to Mitchell Giddings to Gallery in the Woods to ArtRageUs. And everybody sees things differently. Everybody brings things in a little bit differently, which is wonderful.
Nature's beauty abounds in Vermont. Nawalaka is the name that Rudyard Kipling, the writer, gave the home he constructed here just outside of Brattleboro. It was here he wrote such classics as The Captain's Courageous, The Jungle Book, and Gunga Din. Leaving a mere 2.5 years after its construction, this building is a testament to the creativity the area fosters. The Vermont Center for Photography, or VCP, has been here for 20 plus years, being one of the only organizations in town focused on photography and the photographic medium. They take pains to represent all photographers and all photo enthusiasts, with the goal of keeping a tight grip on all things photographic. VCP membership covers much of New England. Exhibitions do include a percentage of artists from all over the nation. VCP's educational offerings include numerous one-day workshops with visiting professors.
Certainly. So we like to cover sort of both the analog film-based processes in our using our public darkroom that we have here. It was actually sort of, the darkroom was the sort of catalyst for Vermont Center for Photography 20-something years ago. And so that is always kind of a near and dear space to us. We have actually just this spring expanded into our neighboring space here, which has allowed us to put together a classroom digital lab space, and we've received some generous grants to fund the purchase of some computers and cameras. So you can find out all sorts of information, everything about us on our website at vcphoto.org.
All kinds of arts are available in southern Vermont to explore. One of the most welcome schools to the area is NECA, the New England Circus Arts, with classes in juggling, tumbling, trampoline, and all kinds of suspension stuff. But if you're in the mood to try something a little bit more traditional, let me introduce you to the Brattleboro School of Dance. Bridgette Struthers runs the Brattleboro School of Dance. Many years ago, she herself was a young student here. Started in 1976, the school has been associated with all things movement related in the region. Just a few years ago, Bridgette took the opportunity to buy it, returning to the school as a dance teacher, a choreographer, and now as its director.
Well, I think the community itself is very arts oriented, so it's a gift in that way to our school, because people really support dance and the arts and are curious about different ways of expressing. So it's actually really nice in that way. It's been really crucial for me to keep going back and forth from Vermont to New York City to sort of keep a fresh perspective, because I think sometimes we can get in a little bit of a bubble. So yeah, but it's been really great to have, we have guest artists come in all the time from New York and Brooklyn, and teach our students and sort of open them up to different ways of moving. And I think the thing I was missing when I was gone was a tangible interaction with community. And I was missing that in New York in the way where it seemed like resources were stretched so thin, it became a little bit competitive. And while I really miss sometimes the artistic expression that I would only find in New York, I find the support and the value of dance in our everyday lives a little bit more comforting here.
When I think about what exactly the particular allure is to Brattleboro, it comes down to two specific things. One, the local economy is set up in a way that celebrates the arts, much in the way it celebrates commerce in general. It's part of the machine that allows for the economy to grow. The second thing that I love about Brattleboro is no matter what time of year it is, no matter what time of day it is, and no matter what I'm doing, it would be so much more relaxed and chill to be doing it in Brattleboro. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Roland Ramos. If you like what you've seen here, please check out all of our other documentaries at Artifications.us. Drop me a line at this address, and please hit us up on all of our social media, especially our YouTube channel. Our goal here is simple: to make the art world just a little smaller, because you cannot spell Earth without art. Take care.